Our Law and Order segment tonight, a new study is claiming black people are killed by cops by a 3-to-1 ratio compared to white people. The study also says Mexicans are killed in a 2-to-1 ratio by cops compared to white people. Yet these numbers are misleading. The mainstream media is not reporting the context or the facts. It's a disservice to the American people to do this, and it's actually borderline fake news. Here with me to break it down, nationally renowned forensic criminologist and the author of The Truth Behind the Black Lives Matter Movement and the War on Police, Dr. Ron Martinelli. Dr. Ron, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and our viewers, Liz. Great to see you again.
It's always great to have you here. Dr. Ron, let's break down this study. It says that black people are killed in a 3-to-1 ratio compared to white people by police officers. Is this accurate?
No, it's not accurate at all. It really borders on what you refer to as fake news. We get researchers that are trying to do made-for-media research all of the time. I've taken a look at part of the methodology of Dr. Buehler's research, and he's simply looking at death certificates. So let's talk about that. On the death certificates, it provides no context whatsoever. First of all, is this a justifiable homicide? Was it adjudicated by a prosecutor, a district attorney, a county attorney, or a grand jury? We don't know that because he doesn't put that in there. Does he use vetted United States Department of Justice statistics that show these things? No, he does not. Was this a situation where the subject that was shot by police was shooting at police or assaulting them? Was he a hostage taker? Was he a suicide by copper? Did he die during a police pursuit as a result of a single vehicle accident where he killed himself in the car? We don't know any of these things. So what kind of research is Dr. Buehler presenting us with?
Well, it's faulty research. That's an easy answer to that question. But I guess my question is, after all these things that you presented, this neglect on the part of Dr. Buehler to include any of this relevant data, how did he draw the conclusion that he did draw?
Well, from what he's saying in his methodology is that he simply looked on death certificates of blacks and Mexican males between 2010 and 2014, and he saw that police intervention was listed on the death certificate. Well, what does police intervention mean? I mean, he doesn't define it. And so that becomes a problem, because if we don't have the context, then what good is the research? Now, the vetted research is that police officers kill whites at twice the level that they kill blacks. Black civilians kill more blacks than police officers in justifiable self-defense shootings. And Mexicans being killed by police are way down on the totem pole. And the fact of the matter is police have decreased officer-involved death cases involving blacks by 75% over the last, 20 years. And I've written, as you know, extensively about this with all the vetted statistics and facts where I present everything. This is a very narrow range of research.
Right, it is, and I think it's telling because it's contradictory. In fact, it's literally exactly contradictory to the study done by Harvard professor Roland Fryer earlier this year in response to the Black Lives Matter protests around the country.
Correct.
And he said it was the most surprising result of his entire career. He found that police are not only less likely to shoot black people, they're actually more likely to shoot white people in these types of confrontations. His research, he admitted his wasn't as thorough because it only used 10 police departments, major police departments around the country, but it's entirely contradictory to Dr. Buehler's results.
Well, it just depends on how these research, do their research. Look, here's a great statistic made for TV, fake news statistics. Police officers have less deaths in spas than do cosmetologists, right? So in other words, more women die in spas at the hands of cosmetologists than they do by police officers. Wow, did you know that?
Right.
I mean, well, what kind of statistic is that? Because police officers don't go into spas.
Right, it's kind of a what's the point type of thing. Dr. Ron, let me pivot to another topic. You're an expert on the Black Lives Matter movement. Of course, you have a decorated career as a law enforcement agent yourself. There was a video released yesterday by MTV. It was called 2017 New Year's Resolutions for White Men. Not only was it insulting, I mean, we don't even have to get into the entirety of the video, but there's a particular part that they're talking about the Black Lives Matter movement as it relates to police officers here. And we have a short video that I want to take a look.
Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing.
Cops weren't born with blue skin.
Dr. Ron, to me, that's just mind-blowing. I understand their point marginally. I understand their point marginally. Right before that, a girl comes on the video and says, the Blue Lives Matter is not a thing. You know, let's not overcomplicate it. Black Lives Matter doesn't mean other lives don't matter. It just means black lives do matter. But to me, they make this relevant for us to stipulate that all lives matter when they're the ones that are saying kill the pigs, and they're the ones setting white people on fire.
Right. You know, here's the point, very simple point that the viewers should keep in mind. And that is when you have Blue Lives Matter organizations, they are organizations that try to forward, the realities about police work and the fact that police officers are killed. And with tremendous frequency, as you and I have talked about, almost 70% increase over last year, officers being murdered by armed civilians. And so that's all they're trying to say. Let's keep all of this in context. We have a brand new paradigm shift that's coming up in January that the law enforcement and forensic community are looking forward to. I hope the public is energized by this, and that we stop the disenfranchise of police officers in our communities, and we just discuss the importance of them as protectors of our rule of law.
Right. Amen to that. Dr. Ron, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always great to talk to you, sir.